this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
Oh, no.
We return to our planet. The High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings, you're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobukijake.
Hey.
And we're here to show you what we got.
Aha.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
And we're going to have to be on our good behavior because we got Lena back there keeping a watchful eye on us.
So, we've got some fun stuff this time around to show off. We had a little bit of backup, but we had to take a week off because the Versus Awards, that's a lot of work. And then
If you haven't seen it, tune in and watch it.
we had to fight Ginger Dead Man to get the room back, which, you know, he's sulking in the corner because we did manage to overcome him. But, you know.
You sure that that's all that happened? Because I got this nice little packet here of ginger chunks.
Spicy.
All right.
So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and get ourselves started. We got a good number of them to go. And because he's got one less than I do, I'll end up starting us and ending us. So, first one is an anime, because I just basically took an order, so I just have it all there, and then added a couple anime because I wanted to, well, make sure there's some anime in this.
There'll be anime. There will be anime.
This is from my Sentai order, from the Sentai sale, which had some wonderful
I
deals
believe
there.
they're doing a Halloween sale now,
They
aren't
are.
they?
And they were thinking that the AMC purchase would eliminate sales. Alright, Analog, one of those. And it's just, I think, a 3-episode thing. I can't really tell how much of it. There's more to the series than this, but it looks like it interesting stuff. Sisters and brothers should love one another. Oh gosh, this is another Oni-eye. But
Or
just not
Kitsus.
in that way, right? So when Moyako and Akira were little, he promised that someday he would marry her, which sounds sweet, but since he's her younger brother, it's never going to happen. Except now they're both in their teens, and Moyako still can't get that memory out of her head. Was he serious? Does he still feel that way? And with that idea stuck in her brain, she keeps thinking that she hears hints in it in everything he says and does. Is she imagining it? Of course. It's her duty to proactively discourage that sort of thinking on his part, right? So it's a very odd sounding series.
Sounds like it.
But I will be curious. I mean, it's only 3 episodes, so I might watch it. I want to watch more anime, but I've been kind of blocked into certain things, and it's unfortunate, but it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, on the subject of wholesome family entertainment, I have a brand new pickup, which he gave me to help balance the numbers, but this is good because a friend of the channel, Forrest, is in this, and so that's pretty cool. And it is a movie called Amityville Thanksgiving, which, as you can probably guess, is a Thanksgiving-themed horror film. I know little to nothing more about it than that. But it could be a 2022 versus 2023 contender. Well, for 2022.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But who knows?
You've got a low budget feature right there.
I know. Yeah.
So I've got a couple orders for a low budget feature, really. This is part of my Sleeves box order that came in. Because I had to order one particular film that's in the group, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to put an order together, because you know how it is. You order one thing, it's hard to order just one. So this is American Holocaust, which looks interesting. I gotta be careful with Sleeves box, because sometimes they show more than you would like on YouTube's things. So it says here, banned and heavily censored, we proudly bring you American Holocaust in its uncut form. Prepare yourself for a journey through hell as you witness the private home videos of two whacked-out Vietnam vets and a killing spree. Michael Mashburn and his former Lieutenant Antoine Mercer shelter themselves from the world to make a new beginning. They start by abducting young men and women and torture them for their own amusement. All right. Their victims will be treated to the most vile and heinous manners you can ever imagine. Some of them they will keep and force them to join their army. But most will die slow and horrible deaths.
One of us.
So, one of the guys in here looks like a depraved Santa Claus.
Okay.
But I'm curious about this. From the description alone, I know you're not going to watch this.
Does not look good.
But, you know, it's kind of cool. If you want to get copies of some of these, the sleevesbox.com has some decent prices on some of them. So just check it out.
And now for something completely different.
Just like
So, you were concerned that there was going to be enough anime in this discussion. Back at the end of their birthday sale in July, I placed 2 back-to-back orders from Right Stuff.
you brought all the anime.
I received one of them ages ago, except for the one little piece that we'll get to as we go along. And then the other big one, which was actually the first order, took forever to ship. And it finally arrived like 2 weeks ago, and I was ready to present it, but then we had to take 2 weeks off.
Yep.
But I'm still missing one bit, and I'll get to that as we go along. But basically, I waited until the last day of the sale when all the mega deals were back on and just went wow. And I've been paying for it for a couple of months. But this is going to be an awesome haul. I'm so excited. First one is a piece of a franchise that I've all been collecting pretty decently. I think I'm missing a couple of pieces, but this is the third main stem of this series, A Certain Scientific Accelerator, which, you know, the first of that series. There'll probably be more.
It's one of the easier parts to collect, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, Index and Railgun are pretty big at this point. And like I said, I think I'm missing the most recent season of each of those.
Yeah.
But now I've got this one. I still have yet to actually watch any of this. I need to. I want to. But as you said, trying to find time for the anime was, yeah.
Well, I gotta think of it. I gotta make sure that will I even be here when it's the last Monday of the month, so I will be here for that. So yes.
Yeah, you can't miss that 2 months in a row.
Helsing, gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So I also have Amityville Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is
it's
probably
hard
a
not
better
to
movie.
think of Thanksgiving.
I mean,
gobble gobble, mother.
I'm not gonna be too harsh on it until I see it, though.
Yeah.
Jackie and Danny are spending the holiday week in therapy instead of at the dinner table. Their marriage has taken a turn for the worse, and they turn to what they believe to be their only option. Amityville couples counselor Frank DeMonico. Okay.
Yes, nothing says trustworthy.
A doctor with a hidden sinister past. He recommends an isolated cabin retreat to save their family, but once alone together, the doctor's unorthodox approach starts to push the couple over the edge. Strange visitors, visions of occult items haunt their stay, coming to peak on Thanksgiving Day. Little do they know that the doctor plans to end their sessions as well as their lives with a devilish dinner and with them as the main course. I'm not sure. I know one of our friends, Forrest, is in it. Kyle might have a cameo in it. I can't remember. I know that he was working with them some at the time, but it's an SRS one. SRS loves their Amityville stuff, even if they are crappy movies. I know Amityville Karen was horrid, so I don't know if this is going to be as bad as that, but I'm sure I'll find out.
So, is Amityville Karen your new benchmark of, like, as long as it's better than this, it's at least worth watching?
Well, I don't know about that, but so far, it's the worst film I've seen for 2022 so far.
Okay, cool.
But, you know, and there could be others.
Yeah, there could
you never
be.
know.
All right, so my next one is actually a conversion. I actually have 2 conversions in this bunch. And another friend of the channel, Dave, has profited mightily off of this. He got some good new stuff for his collection. This is a major size reduction, though. 6 DVDs down to 1 Blu-ray. And this is actually one of the earlier Animu that I collected, and one that I really... It's not for everyone, but it's fun. And that is Anhedenia, a.k.a. My Buddha,
Nice.
which this little collection contains both Anhedenia and Anhedenia Katz, the sequel, which this blonde here is from that. So basically, you have this bevy of attractive shrine maidens and this monk who is very, very perverted and who has a special gift that, well, let's just say, to use his gift, it gets into very ecchi territory, but it makes him mad, crazy, effective at exorcising demons. But notably, this series was my introduction to Mai Nakahara, who plays Chitose, this girl here. Mai Nakahara, first of all, she's probably one of the more famous people that actually shares my exact birthday, which is kind of fun. And the other thing is she sings the 2 end themes from this. Happy Days is one of my favorite anime enders, and Lonesome Traveler probably is my second favorite anime ender. They both kick so much ass, and all of the girls sing the opening themes to these 2 series. This is one of the best shows for opening and closing themes. I absolutely love the music. The show itself, like I said, will not be to all tastes, but if you don't mind pervy humor, it is a very enjoyable show.
That's a lot.
And again, that is such... I'm so happy that it takes that much space instead of 6 DVDs.
Well, my next one is with the sleaze box. And that is Blood, Guts, and Sunshine, the history of horror made in Florida.
Oh,
Now this one I think you would probably be more inclined.
maybe.
It's a 2021 documentary, so unfortunately it's not going to help for the Versus Awards. But it's really cool when you're talking about low-budget horror. Which is Snakes, Sunshine, Summer Heat, and Horror. Explore the independent horror film scene in Florida that has been vigorously pumping out since the invention of film. Blu-ray. This Blu-ray is jam-packed with interviews, exploitation, never-before-seen footage, and Yeah, you gotta hold it up to the camera and then the camera can focus. But it has a lot of cool things in it. Featuring, let's see here, Herschel Gordon Lewis, who's very famous in the low budget genre. John Waters, John Landis, Joe Dante, William Greffe, Sean Donahue, Chris Woods, Marcus Koch, Steve Bureau, Bob Glazier, Andrew Allen, Shelby McIntyre, Mike Sandlin, Kelly Helen Thompson, Ashley Lynn Caputo, Andy Lalino, Rick Danford, Chris Leto, Joe Davison, Gusta Perez, Scott Tepperman, Tim Ritter, and Joel D. Winecoop.
And Adele Dazeem.
So a lot of cool stuff there.
I thought John Waters was based out of Baltimore. Is that a different John Waters?
I'm not sure. But then again, it could be someplace that maybe it's where you got to start.
Maybe.
They don't all have to stay there. They just, get started.
I know.
That's kind of cool. I mean, it's a pretty cool item there.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And yes, a documentary would be more likely to catch my interest than some of those actual shows. Okay, the next one is one that I've been curious about for a hot minute. It's a relatively recent series, and so this is a first-run edition of one of the few I got that's not attached to something I previously had, and that is Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater.
Just hold it up to the camera, which is above here.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't really know much about this one. Quiet Hina has a penchant for indoor crafts, but when she moves back to her hometown near the sea, she quickly gets caught up in the local fishing club. Along the way, she'll make new friends and learn to trade in her fears for a fresh start. So, this is one of the many cute girls doing cute things that seems to literally be every subject under the sun. But, again, I have heard generally positive reviews of this. I have been curious, and I look forward to eventually getting to it.
Well, the sleaze box continues, as I have gotten another Christmas classic, Cannibal Claus. Limited edition Blu-ray for Cannibal Claus. It's Christmas Eve, and Santa is out and about, spreading joy with a hatchet and some barbecue skewers. Cannibal Claus is a modern tale of a small mall Santa Claus who is down on his luck on Christmas time. Instead of staying in on Christmas Eve, he decides to go out and punish the naughty in his blood-drenched, meat-filled cannibal feast. Watch if you dare.
Oh, man.
I like that Santa's got something going there.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I am curious. I'll be watching it in the season. I've got...
So, does he quote Goldberg in those scenes that we see back there? Ho, ho, ho.
So, I think that this will be interesting. I have a list of every holiday, like Christmas film and Hanukkah. Anything that was basically based on the holidays in December in my collection. So I'm going to have a lot of cool holiday viewing come December. I'm just going to be heavy into it and get in the season. And Cannibal Claus is going to be up there because anyone I haven't seen yet, I'm going to be hitting.
Good times. I still have a whole bunch of stuff I set aside last Christmas I never got to, so I'm hoping this Christmas I could, because I just left them in place. I was like, I'll just, So, next up is one that I really would have liked to have had a limited edition, and it's only part of the series, but it's a redo of a classic series that we've long been waiting for a redo, and I really do want to see this. And that is season 1 of Fruits Basket, the remake.
Good one.
And yeah,
I think season 2 is finally gotten a full season release.
Good deal. But as you can see, yes, this is the full. Well, if I can get it to focus, you can see this is the full season 1 release, which Funimation definitely did the we're going to release it in little bits stupid ass stuff with this series. And that's one of the reasons I didn't get the limited edition, because, but I am glad to finally have this. This one will be something of a priority if I can find time to watch stuff. This is one that I will be putting toward the front of the line, because I really do want to see what they did with the remake and see where they go with it.
Yep, I'm just getting my stuff put up as I do. Well, I haven't actually even entered them into the collection yet, but some of these have been, because I wanted to add some anime just so I didn't have just straight horror.
Right.
And there's only one other that's not anime that I added that was already in the collection.
Okay.
And that's this one that came from Mo. And that's Decadent Evil.
Ah.
Mo sent a nice little care package not long ago, which was kind of nice, and with some full moon stuff, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. Most of that package will be not most, some of the package will be represented here, because I had a couple of watch that I hadn't gotten to sort in yet. This one is, well, actually I've seen this one already, because it was used. I always watch my used ones before I enter them in the collection. Essentially, it's about a bunch of vampires who work out of a strip joint. And the lead vampire, Queen, is almost at the end of her 10,000th victim, in which she will then become an invincible vampire. And it's up to, well, a little person who is a vampire hunter, and a little homunculus, which you kind of see pictured here, which gives that full moon flare to defeat her. And it was decent. It was decent.
Cool.
I didn't mind it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. My next one is a continuation of a series I have already started. A spin-off of 4 other series, one of which I've now watched and the other 3 I have not. And that is Season 2 of Isekai Quartet.
Woo.
Which, of course, brings together characters from Overlord, Re-Life, or Re-Zero. I can never remember.
ReZero.
ReZero.
Real life is kind of a romantic drama.
And then the Saga of Tanya the Evil and Konosuba, which at this point I've seen seasons 1 and 2 of Konosuba. So I could watch Isekai Quartet and get some of the humor from it. But supposedly this is a fun show. It certainly looks fun. And I do need to see at least one more of those other shows before I tackle these. But now I have seasons 1 and 2, so I'm ready.
Well, this one is the main reason I pulled that one Decadent Evil out from the collection, is because the sequel, also sent by Mo, I didn't have a chance to enter that in the collection yet. That's Decadent Evil 2 Depraved.
Okay.
Which, there we go. And there's the back. So again, we have our vampire and her lover, and they are going to take their vampire hunter friend to try and get him a treatment because something bad happened to him in the first movie, which I won't spoil. But to do so, they have to go to the Vampire King and mess with him, who he also runs a strip joint because that's what they do. Oh yeah. And a lot of interesting investigation. Yeah, exactly. So so there's a lot of cool stuff that goes on here. Again, the homunculus in this is a little bit more represented. You can see the Vampire King right here, also with I want to say Sugar is the name, stage name of the main vampire woman. So again, a fun little movie. Nothing I'm going to go like, ooh, this is the best of all time or anything, but still not bad.
Right.
Worth a watch.
Cool.
Especially if you like full moon.
All right, my next one. There were several options from this franchise, but this was, I think, the cheapest one. And honestly, but it's also one I wanted to have. I really do need to get at least the movies for each of the main characters. But from Lupin the Third, I got Fujiko's Lie, which of course is the movie that centers on Fujiko Mine, who's your favorite character, I know.
Well, I do know she's your favorite character in this series.
But I do need to, like I said, I know Goemon has one of these, Jigen has one. I need to get those. I just haven't gotten around to them. I'd like to watch all three. They're apparently in a darker, grittier vein, much like the series The Woman Called Fujiko Mine, which I did see. And the art style is much more similar to that than it is the old school Lupin. It should be interesting, should be fun. I know you're a much more hardcore Lupin collector than I am, but I would like to get most of them.
I've got probably a good 90% of all the releases here in the U.S. I didn't collect the old second season release because I've got the second season at no point. They've done a lot of re-releases of stuff I already have had. So,
and the old release didn't finish the season, did it?
Nope.
Yeah.
So that's why half of it, they still have the dub for it from the original, but they didn't dub the other half, so because, well, it wasn't in the first place.
Right.
So here's one from SRS, and that is a musical. Ed Gein, the musical, so to speak. Okay, when I ordered Amityville Thanksgiving, I had to get this. I believe this is also a 2022, so I should watch this because it probably also has some music categories that it could be fun on. I mean, I've got the Sharkula theme as one of my favorite songs for the year. Which you get to hear a little bit of that if you watch our Versus Awards. And you'll get to hear it again if you watch my review of Sharkula, which I still have yet to finish editing. I'm over halfway. It's just, it takes a lot of time, and I don't have time.
Yeah.
Not editing time, anyway. That takes me sitting behind the computer and editing. That's a lot longer than it would be. But it's 1957, and Ed Gein has just been arrested after committing his second murder. Through a series of flashbacks and imagined memories, we see Ed's story through his own eyes, while hearing his story through the parodies of classic songs. I think that's worth it right there. Worth price of admission. You gotta admit, there's just like a morbid curiosity for something that odd.
I'm curious about that one, I will admit, yes. Especially if the songs are good. They might be original song contenders.
I'll have to let you know if it's too bad gore-wise, but if it's not so bad, I might have to let you borrow it so you can use it for your low-budget feature.
Yes. Okay, next up is a continuation on a series that I'm getting very haphazardly because I'm being cheap. But in all fairness, to buy this at the normal Funimation, we're going to release it in 2 parts and then make you wait forever for the whole thing. It's going to add up. And I don't want to spend that much on... I'm trying not to spend that much on any one series.
Yeah.
But the mega deal for this season was pretty low. I really need to get into this show. This is My Hero Academia Season 3.
Ah, very cool.
I believe I have Season 1, so I skipped a season, but again, that's because of pricing. But I will eventually get 2 and 4, and I think they're up to 6 in the official Japanese release, right?
Yeah, and they've released 5, I think, part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But the whole season's it's through 4.
Yeah. But I have, at this point, I've seen 2 of the movies.
Yeah.
But I've read a large chunk of the manga as well as the spin-off series Vigilantes, and I'm really enjoying it. I really want to see this show. Again, it's a fairly high priority, but it'll be a higher priority once I get Season 2, and then I could just barrel through a large portion of it. But the price on this volume was low enough that I was like, I gotta jump on that.
So, this is one in a trilogy of films that I don't think are directly related, but they're considered a trilogy.
Okay.
So, this is an anime. and this is The Empire of Corpses.
Oh, joy.
Now, this actually is the film that got me to try and collect the other two. I've only seen one of the three, which is Harmony. And Harmony was really good. So we'll see how that is. So it says here, the dead will inherit the earth. Take off my glasses because I'm blind. From the studio that produced Attack on Titan comes a captivating historical action thriller based on a Philip K. Dick Award-winning novel by Project Ito, which is the trilogy, is the Project Ito trilogy. I think it's Empire of Corpses, Genocidal Organ, and Harmony are the three. In an attempt to revive his dearly departed friend, young medical student John Watson becomes obsessed with replicating the work of Dr. Victor Frankenstein. But when his illegal experiments put him at odds with the British government, Watson is drafted into the worldwide race to find the lost research notes of Victor Frankenstein before the secrets of human soul fall into the wrong hands. So again, this is the one that got me most interested in checking it out, because I've heard it has some cool horror elements in it. So, you know, I am very much interested in this. I'm glad to get a hold of a copy. Harmony is out of print, so maybe one day they'll do like a trilogy pack.
Maybe.
That'd be really good. The other two, the Genocidal Organ and this one, are still in print. So
That one sounds more interesting than I would have thought from the title, but still.
And this was a birthday sale pickup.
Ah. So, next up, I said there were some conversions going. And this one, if you've been watching our videos, you may know this is coming because I presented one piece of this. But now I can present 6 of the remaining pieces.
Ooh.
And that is Naruto Set 1,
Ooh.
Naruto Set 2, Naruto Set 3, Naruto Set 4, Naruto Set 5, and Set 6. And like I said, I already had 7. I presented it a couple weeks back. 8 will be released later this month. So that should be arriving when it is released, and that will end this pickup.
Wow.
But look at that. Add 2 more on the end. 8 volumes. I did have the original DVD box sets.
Oh, yeah.
16 volumes. The
I
first
still have
5 or 6 of which came with a booklet, so they were like double thickness. And it was probably like...
Yep.
I mean, it was something like...
Really thick.
It was a big chunk on the shelf. And like I said, Dave picked those up from me because I downsized significantly. I have no idea how much they cleaned it up for the Blu-ray, but even if they don't, the space savings alone are worth it. I kind of miss those sets because they were so cool.
Oh, they look good.
But they just took up so much space. So
I'm looking for them on my shelf. Okay, they're behind the Astro Boys back there.
Yeah, they're hiding. They're hiding in shame.
And then after they got to ship it, and they started out like that, and then they went like, yeah, nah, there's too much.
Exactly. They did, what, 4 boxes of shipping in like that?
Let's see.
Yeah.
I think, it was 4 because the 5th one they changed out.
So,
But
good times.
now for the reason I did the sleaze box order. This comes out later in the month, but I got it early for some reason. And that is, and it's not because I did a review, because I have seen this already. I was actually allowed to watch the film as a screener to do a review on it, which I did. But I'm going to be doing my next psychoanalysis to wrap up this second trilogy of requested films. So this is going to be the next one. Horror Tales 666, Part 3. Now, well, they didn't see that. But in any case, this one is one of those that has is another anthology, horror anthology, and it picks up where the other two left off, with our favorite burglar, played by Joel D. Winecoop, messing with, the stories. And you hear more of these stories. They have some pretty cool ones. Like they have, I think this is the second time I've seen a horror movie utilize somebody who's deaf in sign language in their stuff, which is kind of cool. It's I'd say about a little bit better than the second one, but not as good as the first one, if I was to go with that. But I'm going to be very much entrenched in this film. I've only seen it once, so now that I've got it here, once I've got it entered into the collection, I'm probably going to start my watching. I have to watch it a lot of times before I get on there, so I'm going to get very, very familiar with this film.
Okay.
So you should definitely check it out if you haven't.
Okay. So next up, on the subject of horror, at least as far as Brandon is concerned, and I alluded to the title of this one with my previous one, we have One Piece, Volume 26, which is the first of the DVD Blu-ray combos that I've added to my collection. It was the only one they had on sale really cheap. I have a hard rule of 15 or less for the DVD sets. I'm going to allow 20 for the Blu-ray combos because, again, that's a lot. Here, 26, and he's got 27 in his hands.
Now, I've got through 28 so far, but this is something I don't like.
Yeah.
This is how the new release is.
Yeah.
Now look at the thickness compared to the two.
Yeah, but it's basically you have. Oh, it's about the same height, isn't it? Or just
the same
a bit
height,
shorter.
but it's almost
double
two.
thickness. You know, why did they do that? I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
I think they packaged these to look like the original sets, and then just said, "The hell with it, we'll make them bigger." And I really don't know why they did that. That's annoying. Yeah. But I definitely would like to have this series in its entirety. God knows when I'll watch it. But this volume has, let's see, episodes. Where does it say the episodes? Episodes.
They released them at 2 episodes per volume.
No, shit, I wouldn't be buying them for that. That's I think they're 24 episode. Oh, here we go. Episodes 615 to 641. Yeah, I'm nowhere near that.
Let's see, where am I up to in the series? I mean, it's not that far ahead of where you've gotten.
No.
It is.
Well, you also have more of the sets than I do. I'm missing probably 10 of them leading up to this one.
Yeah, I have the first 20. I have the 28 volumes.
Okay.
And I try to just keep up with them as they release because otherwise I'll get behind. I don't want to get behind in this series. I can't tell what that's 28.
I found the episode count on
they
there.
Just have it right on
There's
the front.
a little plaque.
Oh, there it is. So it is 693. Not quite 700 yet on that.
All right. Which means the American release is at least 300 behind where they are in Japan.
Again, they've released more of the ones that are half the number of episodes.
Yeah.
So
The Voyages.
So number 29 should be releasing soon. I am glad that they decided to stop the single releases that had like 3 to 4 episodes on them.
Yeah.
Can you imagine somebody collecting all of it that way?
They'd have a one-piece wall.
Oh my gosh. So this one is one that I purchased to try and get. I think I've got all but one. Darkness the Vampire version, I think, is the only one I'm missing of our Inside Movies Galore films. Maybe Aberration, because I'm not sure if I have a copy of that. But I definitely have everything else that's widely available. And I had to get some terrible stuff. Thanks, Dave. And that one of those terrible things, and the 2-pack that he did, was Jurassic Dead. Evil always finds a way. Essentially, this is the future, and this doctor has come up with a zombie serum, and he's resurrected dinosaurs.
Because reasons.
There's a kind of a SWAT group that's going down to take down the evil guy's labs because he's got a bioweapon that he's going to use on the world, and a group of like vacationers that somehow are traveling in the middle of nowhere for some reason. And it's really bad. It's a terrible movie. Don't watch it.
But watch our discussion on it.
Yes, you can watch the discussion on it to get a good idea. It's better than the other one. This one was actually watchable, but the other one, I think it was Aztec Mummy or something. Not Aztec.
American Mummy.
American Mummy.
I didn't even see that one.
It's a horrid film, which I also have a copy of.
This one was watchable, barely.
Yeah,
Like, it had
this one
very
is,
little going for it.
hard.
But anyway,
So it's something more watchable.
not all of us share Dave's fascination with hate watching stuff. But anyway. So, next up is one that has been on my radar for a while now. It's a heavily talked about anime that I've been really interested in seeing. I believe it's into a second or third season at this point, so this is not the whole show. And I really would have liked to get the limited edition, but again, you know, when you see a deal with Funimation, you might as well. And that is the show, The Quintessential Quintuplets, which is a double Q. How many of those do you find? And it says, own the sleeper hit of 2019.
Was it?
Well, it was, sort of. Desperate to pay off his family's debt, Hutaro Uesugi quintuples his troubles when he accepts a new job, tutoring a set of quintuplets. If he can't get Itsuki, Miku, Ichika, Nino, and Yotsuba to hit the books, he can kiss his paycheck goodbye.
Goodbye.
So this is a reasonably well-regarded show. It definitely got a lot of buzz when it came out. I've been curious about it, like I said, and I saw the price. I was like, it's time I got that one.
So, next up is one that Dane sent me as an extra when I purchased something, one I wasn't certain about, but now that I've watched it, it's not so bad. And that's Katy Perry, Part of Me.
He sent me that one too.
So, this is kind of just a behind-the-scenes documentary that goes through her first big, world tour.
Okay.
And it is interesting because you get to also track her kind of really short marriage to God, what is his name? Is it right-wing comedian? Gosh, he did that horrible remake of Arthur.
Oh, Russell Brand.
Russell Brand, yeah. Did you know
Is he right-wing?
Yeah, he's got a right-wing show now.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, it's interesting. He, apparently you get to see a little bit of that. You get to see some of the concert. And, I don't mind Katy Perry stuff, some of it.
She got some good songs.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of fun to go through it. This is not that bad.
And she cute.
If you remotely like Katy Perry, or are even okay with Katy Perry, this is not a terrible documentary to have. That's about all I've got to say about that.
Okay. So, next up, we got one that I was a little on the fence about. But given the stuff he's been presenting all night, suddenly it doesn't seem so bad.
Oh,
Okay. So, we have alluded to some things on this channel since it happened, and I'm sure any of you who are Right Stuff fans or were Right Stuff fans or use them as your dealer to get your anime fix, and especially those who participated in the birthday sale, were hit with an interesting way of or I at least had an interesting way of finding out about the Crunchyroll merger, which was I got 2 back-to-back emails. One of them was from the Kickstarter team behind Dirty Pair Redub, assuring us they were still going forward with the project.
but they'll edit out all of the boobs.
They probably will. No, they probably won't, but still. The most recent update, by the way, is that they are proceeding ahead after a hiccup in scheduling. They're proceeding with the dubbing, so we're still hopeful to get our really nice, shiny new sets sometime next year. But the other email was that certain items for which Right Stuff was also a source would no longer be sold by Right Stuff because Crunchyroll. And it just so happens that I had placed my second ever order for one of these items. And so it arrived late and with nothing to do with Right Stuff. It came from
See,
buyAnime.com, I think.
I have one item, but it's attached to the one remaining item that I have to ship. And because it's there, and that item is a Right Stuff, since that order was together with that,
Right.
they actually won't ship it through that company. It's still shipping through Right Stuff.
Oh.
So those two items are just sitting there because the other item is not there. And they let one of them, Harmony, go out of print. And then they said, okay, well, we just waited until it went out of print. Now we'll refund your money. So my hope is that's not the case for this other one.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will be. That one's still in print, but I'm guessing they're still waiting for the stock to come back up.
So, I am not a heavy collector of hentai. I'm not. I have, like I said, I placed one previous order for 3 items, one of which I am keeping specifically because it has one of the most hilarious dubs I've ever heard. I kid you not, Nurse Me is staying in my collection because of the English dub. It is so funny. It's so awfully bad that it's hilarious. This is one that I had heard about repeatedly, and I was curious about it. And they had it on Blu-ray at what I considered a reasonable price, so I was like, okay, time to have one Blu-ray in the collection. And that is Ringetsu.
Sounds empty and it sounds like
It is loose in the case. And Ringetsu is actually 2 OVAs. There's Ringetsu and Shin Ringetsu. Total of 5 episodes. I have not seen them. I've seen bits and pieces. I know them by name and vaguely by reputation. Should be fun, but you know, good to have variety in the collection. But like I said, compared to some of the stuff you've presented, I don't feel so bad about putting that in anymore.
Oh, wait until my next one. It's a recent release, also a 2022 release, which I need to see, but Kim will not watch this. And that is the Rob Zombie Monsters.
Oh, that's out already on physical?
You know what's funny is
Wow.
I had not planned on getting this for a while,
Yeah.
but immediately, like within a month of the release going up, they gave a pre-order price of $10. And I'm like,
Really?
I'd buy that for that. So,
pre-order?
yeah, this was like a couple months ago. But I was like, okay, well, I can do that. And since this is actually a Netflix movie, I was surprised that they even allowed it to release on physical.
Yeah.
So I have it. I plan on watching it this season. When, I don't know. I know that he really likes the source material, so that's a positive. But a lot of people do not like Rob Zombie's takes on films. And, you know, that's them. I actually like most of the films I've seen by him. I still have not seen some of them. I haven't seen, I haven't seen Salem something. I haven't seen 31. But I've seen a lot of the others, like El Super Beasto is a fun one. So, you know, it's there. I really like the Halloween remakes, too. Even the second one. I am in the majority, I understand. Sorry,
Okay.
not majority. Minority.
Right. I was going to say.
But I've heard this one's actually pretty decent. It's not the greatest, but it depends on how much expectations you have. And I like the Monsters. It was a fun show when I was...
All right. And now for something completely different, yet again. The next one, from what I hear, is actually a very fun, lighthearted fairly innocuous series that I am just really curious about, especially with my day job being someone who deals with books. I really was curious about this when it came out, and that is Skullface Bookseller Honda-kun.
Ah, yes.
It just looks
See if you can get
insane.
it up there to the
Let's
front, get it,
yeah.
let it- there you
There we go. I mean, doesn't that just look batshit?
It
But
looks
in
like
a good
fun
way.
series. I've been interested in that. I
Yes.
think I have a copy, but it's like any of the other anime. I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, there's a copy in there.
This bookstore is spooky, but its customers will really make you scream.
Ah, I didn't want to watch season.
Honda-san. Oh, sorry, Honda-san. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. Honda-san is at war with business, with out-of-print books, and with people who love manga. Who knew there were so many laughs to be found at the manga counter of a bookstore? These are day-to-day happenings that take place at a certain bookstore where the love of manga is abundant. So, slice of life series set in a bookstore with a character who's a skeleton. How could you go wrong with that?
Yep. So mine is definitely completely different. My second to last of the sleazebox orders. I'm going to be ending on a sleazebox order.
Okay.
And this is one I had to get it because it was the namesake of the thing, which is the sleazebox, which is the it is a series. This is the entirety of it. I need to make sure there's no nudity on the back this time. Okay, we're good. Right here. So let's see. Finally, one of the most notorious shows on the web comes to Blu-ray. The web series that gave birth to the Sleazebox brand, which spawned films like American Holocaust, Chaos AD, and the Death Escort Service films. The Sleazebox is a web series that features top 5 lists to a number of topics associated with horror, sci-fi, cult, exploitation films. Joint hosts John Miller and Chris Woods as they count down and give their opinions on movies, filmmakers, trailers, actors, and actresses from those genres. So it might be fun. This looks like basically a YouTube series, essentially. So might be fun. I mean, always cool to have some horror stuff, and it's great to support people and independent creators, which is really good. And this is how you do it. So,
Good deal.
It's great to have it in the collection.
All right, my last one. And you may have sensed a little bit of a theme here. This is one of the reasons I went so hog wild crazy with this order, was a lot of these were ones that were really on my radar, but I really wanted to get them at a affordable price.
Like Cannibal Claws.
Yeah, exactly. But the next one is one that not only got generally positive buzz when it came out, it got a ton of buzz. It was probably the most memed show since Demon Slayer. I know you keep talking about Bamboo Girl, but this one, I guarantee you, is every bit as memed, if not more so. She has really dominated the web the last 3 or 4 years. And when this one went up for sale, the limited edition sold out fast. I didn't even have a chance to get the limited edition, so I had to snap up the regular edition when it became available because it could sell out. And that is a series called Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out.
Oh, yeah.
Which I know you've seen the many web images with the Sugoi Dekai, the awesome Melons shirt that she wears, which indeed they are. But I've seen bits and pieces of this, and from what I've seen, it looks like a really fun show. Apparently, it's basically this girl, Uzaki-chan, who takes a liking to a particular guy who, for whatever reason, it's one of those extrovert glomps onto an introvert kind of shows.
They like Don't Bully Me Senpai kind of falls in that same category.
You're right.
Though she's not quite as mean as the other one, probably.
Right. But this one, like, you see the ones where, like, the extroverted guy tries to help the introverted girl, like Kimi no Todoke.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind that I've seen where it's a reverse one was that movie, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas,
Yeah.
but that one had a very different tone to it.
Slightly.
This one's going to be more comedic, but I will admit Ozaki-chan is probably one of the more appealing waifus to dominate the web in the last few years. And it looks like a fun show. So, and like I said, the limited edition sold out fast. So when this went on sale, I was like, I'm getting it.
Yeah, I got the regular myself. I wasn't really out to get the limited.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to just have the thing in the collection because it was. But I've noticed that there was for the recent time, it's definitely been a waifu of the day. You had her, you had Demon Slayer, Bamboo Girl, you had the person with the dress-up darling, you had of course Komi.
Yeah.
You've had basically it's whatever waifu is on right now. But I'm sure it's going to return to Spy Family now because that's started up again. So yeah, people are very fickle with their waifus. No loyalty.
I don't know. What do you think about that, Lena?
So
Darkness beyond.
speaking of, this is actually a classic mixed in with, which is Sybil, with Joanne Woodward and Sally Field. And this is one of the first, this is one of the most famous depictions of multiple personality disorder, and is talked about a lot in the field and in general. People usually reference this. It's a 77 film, very long film. Well, it's 187 minutes.
No, that is kind of long.
But I want to say it was a TV movie.
3 hours.
So
Was that a TV movie?
yeah, I think so. But again, it's 2-disc special edition. It's just it's a classic. It's a necessity to have it in the collection for somebody who likes movies about mental health, and it's a worthy one. I do feel like this is probably the start of everybody believing they have multiple personality disorder, and it's not very common.
Okay.
When I say not common, I mean no. The perfect storm that has to come into play to have that happen is very, very rare. I think I've worked with mental health probably for, let's see, wow, in August of next year I'll be 20 years. And I've worked with people in the healthcare field another 2 years longer than that, so 21 years in healthcare. And I've only come across what I would consider legit multiple personality once in my time. I've come across a lot of people who said they have it, but they faking it. All right. There we go.
Well, that was mine.
Oh.
That's
that was
it. Yeah.
Okay, well, I have one more.
Uno más.
Yeah, so let me see here. I'll just put this to the side then.
Okay.
My last one from Sleazebox, which is Wine Coop Tales. Which, of course, you have Psychos R Us, Diary of Blood, Tainted Love, and Dead End. Of course, Joel Winecoop, which I've got a lot of his stuff. I so need to start watching some of these. That's the sad thing. I get a lot of these things and I have no time to watch them all. I'm playing catch up, or I'm watching films I've already watched because I have those obligated for talks. Like I will be watching Video Violence for this weekend. I've already watched Bad Ben Benign for the discussion on that. And it's just, one after the other. Which I need to put in bed. Actually, Bad Ben Benign I watched last month at the end. So, it's still interesting. But Joel Winecoop is a fun actor. You should check it out. I actually he's one of the few directors I have a interview with on the channel. That was really nice. He was a really nice guy, really great talking with him. And I look forward to seeing these. And that's going to be cool to see. Cool. Well, with that being said, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.